And for the whole weeks, participants will be volunteering at service sites, and you'll be working with other participants, mentors, coordinators, and we'll be meeting all week long to volunteer at different service sites in New York and just learn about the community. And students, while participants are not at the service sites, they'll also be participating in daily reflection sessions back on campus and having really important discussions to reflect on service and connect with other peers. So just a super well-rounded week, very engaging, very impactful, and just a wonderful week in general.
Or do you want me to do this for Allison?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So this is just going to be a brief overview as to what a week looks like. When we say service sites, we're referring to the places that we hold our program at. So for example, one of the main ones you'll see here is City Meals on Wheels, where you go to the site and they'll have you do various things. Sometimes it's delivering meals and sometimes it's help preparing the stuff for the meal kits. A basic week will look like this. The first day is going to be held for move-in, and we give you an earlier move-in time, or at least we try to, so that you can move in before we start the program. Starting around 5 that day is going to be a pizza party. We do highly recommend that you attend this party. If you can't for other various reasons, we understand, but it's just a nice time to come and get to know everyone. We play a few games, you get to meet the PMs, and it's just a lot of fun. So then each day at Project Outreach starts up with breakfast. Of course, we give you will be given 3 meals a day. We won't starve you. But we do breakfast. The first day is an orientation, followed by lunch, and a few various activities. So the LGBT walking tour that is written there, I believe we will try to get to do that this week, this Project Outreach program, but you're not likely going to be doing it on the same day as everyone else. We're going to break up everyone into groups based off of your Project Outreach group. And so you'll get to do that, followed by group time and break. You'll see that we also, after dinner, do a night activity, which is just a fun little activity to go visit various places and explore the city a bit more in a way you won't be able to maybe during class or at least during the rest of our program. Yeah, so the rest of the week is breakfast, volunteering sites, reflection session, and a group activity. So reflection sessions talk about whatever volunteer site you did today. And basically it's just a moment for you to reflect upon the kind of service you've done and the kind of impact or maybe something that you've learned from it. The group activities are also varying throughout the week. You're gonna get a brief intro from your PM, a bit more in depth on each group activity, but I assure you they are lots of fun. And I personally really did enjoy them when I was a participant. Yeah.
All right, so now covering some of the logistics of this program, different details about housing, meals, hours, and safety. Okay, so as Michelle mentioned, there will be 3 meals provided every day. Breakfast will be in the dining hall. Lunch will either be taken with the participants to the service site or be consumed back on campus after participants return from the service site. And dinner will also be usually in the dining hall. And so this will be provided for each of the service days. And we'll have that pizza party kickoff the Sunday before we begin, and a final banquet on the last day where we all just come together and reflect on everything. Regarding housing, students that are accepted into this program will have early move-in. So students will be moving in the day before the program starts. And regarding going home, because our days are quite long and we usually end around 8 each day, all participants will be chaperoned back home either to their dorms or to their apartments. And this will be in groups of about 10 to 20 with 2 peer mentors guiding each group. So no one will be going home alone. And yes, as I said, people on campus, on on-campus housing will be eligible for that early move-in. And regarding safety, because we chaperone students back to their housing situation, students are not permitted to leave their housing after they've returned at the end of the day. One, of course, for safety, because we are responsible for everyone, but also because our days are so long, it is important to rest, and there's no reason to be going out or doing other things after you return for the day. And we know that there are, of course, given risks associated with being in New York, but one, we always remain in big groups or with at least one other person. And if we're not at service sites, project outreach will be conducted at one of the student life buildings. And we really do hope that this week will be a really great introduction to people who have never been to New York before, or who haven't, lived here for a portion of time. So we really hope that this week will teach students about living in New York City and being part of this community.
So quick note, there is a slight lie on this page. We're not technically allowed to tell you not to leave your housing after we owl you back, but we do highly encourage that you don't go out. It will be very tempting, obviously, to go and explore the city at night, but it is your first week, so you've got plenty of time afterwards to explore, and you will be dead tired. So just generally, we encourage you not to leave your housing. So quick timeline. So these are application deadlines and other things you might want to keep in mind. So the application is already open. It was open on the 25th of April, so you may start as soon as whenever you want to, really. The priority deadline is coming up soon. It's going to be the 25th. We ask you that you submit it by 11:45 p.m. just so that we have a deadline. The priority deadline is for an earlier application acceptance release. So if you are worried about booking tickets or you just want to know ahead of time, I do highly encourage that you submit it during the priority deadline. As a note, the priority deadline does not mean you will be put in priority for acceptances as in you get an advantage. It is simply for the timing. June 10th is the final deadline, so the regular deadline, and the decisions for that will be released pretty quickly. I would say the latest 2 weeks after the final deadline. Late June, early July will be when the application decisions are released, and priority decisions will be released earlier than the final deadline. And August 21st to 25th is the proposed service week. We will have the early move-in day, I believe, on the 20th, and the pizza party will be the evening of. Yeah, you're free to move in anytime when we have the move-in day, so there is no specific timing for that.
Sorry, actually, I think it might be, you'll probably, if you are on-campus housing, you will probably get an email about if you have a housing slot. I think that's how it goes.
It only tells you for early move-in, if I remember correctly, it's just like the day.
Oh, okay.
I
Well,
wasn't posted for the time. It might also differ per dorm, so I do recommend you keeping track with all the emails.
yeah.
So that's the end of our slides. Does anyone have any questions? I know that was a lot of information just kind of thrown at everyone. Questions, comments, curiosities?
You
Hey,
could
quick
type in
question.
the
I'm actually
chat.
attending because my daughter couldn't make it. She has something else that she has to go to right now. Her name is Ankita. So I just want to understand, like, any specific reason why this is happening, like, prior to, like, actual, like, not within the first semester, like, prior to actually college starting? Just
Yes, so
curious.
this is a pre-orientation, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. But yes, this is
No,
the
no, that's
pre-orientation
fine. Go ahead.
program. So we're starting basically, I think it's about a week before school starts. None of our program overlaps with school, and your daughter will probably be given a day or two in between. I think we have a day or two, so it shouldn't interfere with classes. Just to answer Taylor really quickly, the early move-in will be your freshman housing. As far as I'm aware, if there is someone that is in your freshman housing during the summer, they may put you in temporary housing. But once you get in, there's going to be an email from the school clarifying all of that.
Yes, if I might just add on, the reason we also do it the week before is, like Michelle said, it is that orientation week. So this is a really great opportunity, not only for students to, practice their civic engagement, but it's really unique for students to like have a week to be guided through the city, to talk to upperclassmen, because all the peer mentors are upperclassmen. So just really getting to know the community and being able to come into NYU already kind of knowing about their area of it.
Got it. Thank you. And approximately how many kids are admitted to this outreach program?
It's about, we're looking to accept about 140 students, so it's a bit bigger than what we did before, but there will be plenty of peer mentors to accommodate all of the participants we'll accept.
Got it. Thank you.
I might be saying this wrong, but Nandita?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, so I'm also calling in on behalf of my son who couldn't join. His name is Ryan. So we are in Houston, so we'll be coming in out of town. And the freshman orientation is, I believe, in August 26th and 27th. So we were not planning to come a week early. Now that's going to be a lot of logistic issues and stuff like that. So if he decides to come in, then where is he going to stay that whole week before everything starts?
So we have basically wherever your son is, I believe you said son, wherever they're staying during freshman year will likely be their housing.
Yeah, he's gonna be in Union Hall, I believe. He's gonna go to Stern, and he's also gonna be part of the swim team.
Yeah, so U-Haul should be able to go into U-Haul for that week. Regarding the swim team though, I would check whether or not he has early training. Some of the athlete teams start earlier than the school year does. But otherwise, yeah.
And another question I have is, you said that it's 140 students are accepted after they apply, but is there any type of criteria or requirement before for being chosen as part of this project outreach?
So the application is currently online, so you can look through that. But basically, what we're looking for is a commitment and some experience in kind of service and outreach, as well as a commitment and some kind of experience in leadership. If your child hasn't been able to do that kind of extracurricular, that's fine, as long as he's able to kind of just prove to us that he really does want to do this program. Because that's what we're looking for. It's not the most accomplished people, but people who do want to make a change.
Okay, and just to get an idea, how many hours usually is required on a semester, during a semester, when they're part of this group?
So this is specifically a pre-orientation program, meaning it's going to be that 1 week before school starts. If your child does want to continue with the program, they can apply to be a pre-mentor for the next semester, which is generally a brilliant thing to do, because then you're doing stuff before school starts and it's a lot of fun.
Okay, so this is just a pre-orientation, and then there's no other activity during the semester?
We have a few reunion things. There's a service, like once in a while we might meet up again. My year we did a service day in the middle of during the semester. Along with all the volunteer programs, they are year round. So if they participate in a volunteer program that they want to continue with, they'll they're free to do so. They're given the
Okay.
contacts and the information necessary to do that kind of thing.
Okay, great, thanks.
In the chat, I believe we already said how many people typically attend, but yes, it's 140 that are chosen. Generally, we're thinking 130 will probably participate. The most valuable lesson you learn from doing the program. Allison, do you want to answer that one? Or
Yeah, sure. I think so. I was a participant my first year, and I was a peer mentor for 2 years, and I'm a coordinator. And I think one of the things I learned specifically as a peer mentor was learning as a leader how to best accommodate the group that I was leading. So making sure I was serving everybody's needs, attending to their needs, and what worked best for them. So just really being able to have a read on the people that you're working with. And even as a participant, this is super important because you're going into different communities and different service sites, kind of, leading over or like making a change in that community that you're working in. So just really being able to have an understanding of the people that you're working with. And this is incredibly helpful in your academics and truly whatever you decide to do in the future.
yeah, I totally agree. Allison was my PM when I was a participant, and you do learn so much. Like I mentioned earlier, those activities, a lot of them are discussions, specifically on current events and other topics that are relevant to current right now. And aside from that kind of learning, you kind of learn a lot about community at NYU. One of the concerns I had when I was coming into NYU was whether or not I would be able to kind of find my place. And Project Outreach really helped with that because I was able to meet so many like wonderful people who had all a kind of drive to continue doing something, whether it be in their own field of study or just in general. So, yeah. Are there any other questions, concerns? Comments?
So sorry, I just following up on a previous question. I think that was asked and you guys responded. So, after this pre-orientation program, is there does this operate as a volunteering group throughout the year, or is it only during the breaks? I'm just trying to, because I thought you said there's nothing that happens during the semester.
Yeah, so this is a pre-orientation program, meaning it will be the program itself takes place that 1 week before school starts. We have a few other organized events, like 1 or 2 organized events during the semester, just like maybe one service event or like a reunion event, but generally it is that one first week. Any volunteer opportunities that we encounter during that week, for example, the Queen's Botanical Garden, City Meals on Wheels, all of those are generally year-round volunteering opportunities. So if you take a liking to any of those, you can continue on with them, just not necessarily with our program, which is why we give all of the contacts and the information needed to continue with those programs.
I see. So
Yeah,
in an individual student capacity, they can continue with any of the programs if they like those. That's what you're saying, not as a group.
exactly.
Understood. Got it. Thank you.
Oops, there are people in my yeah. Are there any more questions, concerns?
Hi, quick question. So if we are not able to come in early the 20th, and we plan to come in like August 25th, which is that Friday. So basically he's gonna miss out the whole thing, right?
Sorry, you cut out there for a moment. What were you?
Yeah, I was asking, in case we cannot come early, and right now we are planning to be there at NYU on August 25th, which is the Friday. So basically that means that he's gonna miss out on everything, all the activities, right? That's planned for that week.
if you aren't certain that your child will be able to be there during that week, I do not recommend that you apply for it because the program is that 1 week before.
Okay, got it.
If you're able to come in a week earlier, we'll be happy to have them, but it's very much all the activities are that 1 week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, if I
Makes
could just
sense.
add on, if you are accepted, if your child is accepted into the program and decides to come, it is expected that they arrive in time to move in by early move in and can make it to every day of the program.
Got it. Okay. Thanks.
There is a question in the Q&A box about if project outreach conflicts with regular student orientation. As far as I know, I don't know if the full welcome week program is published already, but for example, if it on the last day there's a few orientation activities, there might be opportunity for everybody to go and explore those, but it should not conflict with any big orientation for schools or anything. But if there is, we can work out those overlaps as they come about.
Yeah, I believe at least for CAS, there wasn't anything that overlapped. You may have a concern when it comes to Tish, but I also believe that shouldn't overlap either. You can always just check the calendar and contact us if you have any further questions regarding that. Yeah. Are there any more questions?
All right, well, if there aren't, our email is on this question slide. Our Instagram is also the second one at Outreach NYU. So you can always message us with any questions at all. We will post the link to this video. We recorded the Zoom call, so we will post it to the website. And also you can definitely stay updated with everything on our Instagram because that is where we, post our most up-to-date things. So yeah, thank you all so much for joining us. Michelle, anything else you want to add?
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope that you guys all apply, and if you email us, we should get back to you pretty quickly. So yeah, it was
Thank
nice
you.
to meet one.